Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Finding Yourself podcast, the mini podcast series centered around movies and TV. I'm your host, Cal Duffy, and today's episode, I want to talk about the TV show that promised us 6 seasons in a movie, Community. For those of you unfamiliar with the show, its original release was in 2009 and it ran until 2015. The show was created by Dan Harmon, the co-creator of Rick and Morty, and it has a very talented cast, including Joan McHale, Alison Brie, Gillian Jacobs, Danny Puddy, Donald Glover, Yvette Nicole Brown, Chevy Chase, Ken Jeong, and Jim Rash. For those unfamiliar with the show, it centers around 7 college students who come together to form a study group. It centers around this group and their day-to-day lives as they try to survive community college together. I don't actually remember how I got into Community as a show, whether someone told me to watch it or whether I just came across it myself. But once I did, and once I latched onto the show, I loved it. From the plot to the acting to the jokes. I remember sitting in my old apartment watching it for the first time thinking, this show is just very upbeat. It slots in nice with the other shows that I'm watching at the moment. The jokes are on point. The actors are great. Everything about this show was checking all my boxes for a good TV show to watch. And I think also I have a certain sentimentality around the show. I do associate it with my old apartment because it was the one show I watched constantly when I was living there. Even though I haven't set foot in that apartment in over 3 years, I still have a very fond memory of Community and a sentimentality towards it. And that's the main topic I want to talk about today in this episode, sentimentality towards TV shows. Because sometimes I feel like our sentimentality towards a TV show and our fondness for it can often affect our perception of it, and more than that, it can affect our judgment and perception of the quality of the TV show, quality of the actors, the writing, the tone, everything. This can happen to us several times as we grow up and mature. We have TV shows that we grow up with, that we latch onto, that we love, that we have a fondness for, that make us feel all warm and fuzzy. But as we go through different periods in our life, we look back at these TV shows and sometimes we see and realize that the TV show that we loved growing up wasn't as great as we thought it was. And I think the reason for that is when we're in it and when we're sentimental about it, our judgment is clouded because we just associate that TV show with a good feeling. And we don't notice things like inconsistent writing or bad acting, or nonsensical storylines. And it's only when we look back on these TV shows when we're out of that sentimental feeling that we can actually see it for what it is. And I feel like I'm going through that process with Community as a show right now. There's been plenty of times in the last maybe year and a half that I've tried to watch this show through from season 1 onward. And when I start off every time, I always think, oh, this show is going to be so good to rewatch again. All those feelings are going to come flooding back and I'm just going to enjoy this so much. But I'll get past season 1 and I'll get into the grit of the show. And I just find it doesn't keep my interest the way it did. The feeling I have about the show leading up to watching it doesn't translate to when I'm watching it in the moment, if that makes sense. Basically, if I can simplify it down, the idea of watching Community is actually better than watching it. And I hate that I feel this way about the show because I used to love this show so much. And now whenever I think about it, I still love it. I still love the idea of watching it. But then I stick it on Netflix or I pop it in the DVD player and I'm just let down by it. I think I truly have become disillusioned with Community as a show, which is making me ask questions like, is this show aging badly? Has it aged badly? Do I hate it now? Will I always feel this way about this show? And part of me thinks that I'm just kind of exiting the phase of my life where this show meant something to me and I've moved on. But another part of me wants to believe that this show will always mean something to me and hopefully one day I can throw it on and enjoy it like I used to. I often think that TV shows are like friends that we have in life. There's long-term friends who are around for the majority of our lives, and there's short-term friends who are in our lives for a period of time. And I feel like that's the same with TV shows. I feel like it's been a slow process of me disconnecting from Community as a show and the veil of sentimentality being dropped to help me realize that maybe the show isn't for me anymore, which really sucks because I don't want that to be the case. I want this show to be one of the shows that I'm watching in 10 years' time. I think that's why every now and then I'll throw it on and see how I feel about it, see if it gets a laugh or see if I enjoy it as much as I used to, and try and work it back into my regular watching routine. I know you're thinking, thinking, oh, it's only a TV show, what's the big deal? But I think there's plenty of things that people latch on to make them feel happy. There's plenty of things people do to enjoy happiness outside of relationships with other people, like friends and family and loved ones. People have sports to make them feel happy and energized. Others like to work out to feel happy, play music, take up an instrument. Some people learn to cook. Some people learn more about meditation and yoga. And some people have movies and TV. I am one of those people who loves movie and TV. I really like getting into TV shows, and when I get into them, I like to learn as much as I can about them because I'm a nerd like that. I like to learn all about the actors who are in the TV shows, what other works they're in, what they're like in person. I like to learn about how the TV show is made, what goes into it, the background, everything like that. So whenever I'm watching a TV show with someone, I'll often have facts I can spew out about the actors or certain scenes or certain background to an episode or something like that. I'm sure doing this doesn't make me unique. I'm sure there's other people out there who like to research the shows they love and learn new facts about the shows they watch and have a bit more background to them. So I'm certain I'm not alone in that. If anyone has a favorite TV show that they love to research and find out new facts about, let me know about it in the comments below. I'm also interested to hear what TV show you all have a sentimental soft spot for. So if you have a soft spot for any TV show in particular, no matter whether it's an old TV show that you started watching when you were young or whether it's a TV show you started watching last year, let me know in the comments below. Just thinking about it now, I can actually pinpoint the moment when I started to become disillusioned with Community as a show. It was after I was talking to one of my friends about the show, and I was recommending to him that he watch it and give it a go. And before I could get the words Community out of my mouth, he responded with, I tried it, and that show is pure shite. Now, when I heard that from him, I thought, okay, I trust his taste in TV shows because we do like the same TV shows. We have similar tastes when it comes to TV shows. So hearing him say this kind of caught me off guard, and it was my initial reaction to be like, oh, you don't know what you're talking about. This TV show is amazing. I love it to death. But every time I watched it after that, his words were ringing in my head of this TV show is shite. And slowly but surely, I started to lose that sentimentality. Not lose it, but the sentimentality started to drop so I could actually view the TV show in a new light for the first time. That's when I noticed that I wasn't laughing at the jokes as much as I used to. I wasn't as entertained by it as I used to be. And although that sentimentality was still there and I was still excited to watch it as soon as I threw it on, that sentimentality seemed to have faded and I was stuck in an episode, in every episode, just trying to enjoy it. I was trying to get that enjoyment back from watching it. And to be honest, I'm still trying to get that enjoyment back, but I'm going to keep on trying because as long as I feel sentimental about the show in general, I'm still going to want to watch it and I'm still going to give it a chance. If the day comes where I think about the show Community and I have no sentimentality or good feelings about it at all, I can finally say, okay, I'm done with that show. But I don't feel that way, so I'm going to keep on trying to enjoy it for as long as I can. So yeah, shout out to my friend who unintentionally ruined the show for me. He probably doesn't know that he ruined the show for me. He's going to find out anyway from this podcast because he knows who he is. No, you didn't ruin it, but you definitely opened my eyes to it. Let's put it that way. Yeah, I suppose it's kind of unfair to say he ruined it for me because all he was doing was letting me know how he felt about the show. And I'm sure there's times where we've been talking where he's recommended a show to me and I said, oh, I don't like it or I think it's crap. And that is just my opinion. And that's all he was doing. He was just giving me his opinion. If you haven't given Community a watch yet, I would definitely recommend it. It's definitely worth your time. I think there's 6 seasons. It's available up on Netflix to view in full. So yeah, give it a go and I hope you enjoy it. If you liked today's episode and you want to hear more content like this, you can always subscribe to my YouTube channel. I put out new videos every week. And again, if there's anything in particular you guys want to hear me talk about, certain aspects of a TV show or a certain TV show in particular or a movie, you can always leave a suggestion in the comments below. I am still relatively new to podcasting, so with every episode I am trying to improve the quality of my content. And that could mean taking a few episodes here and there to talk about different aspects of movie and TV. I just want to make sure that I'm not becoming stale with my content and I'm putting something out that people want to listen to. So any feedback you guys have will be greatly appreciated. Again, hope you guys enjoyed this episode and thanks for listening.